The Saturday, May 15th meeting has been changed to Tuesday, May the 11th at 10 a.m. Hopefully everyone is acceptable to that. At this time, we'll take up resolution number 81.
Good morning. This is Councilman J.B. Feely. Councilman Keener is going to be abstaining to this particular resolution. Resolution 81 is authorizing a person-to-person transfer for Bennett Enterprises to 42nd Place LLC. We are in receipt of a full application and will now unmute to the public for public comment. This public comment is only in regards to resolution number 81.
Unmuted.
We did not receive any pre-submitted email correspondence. Any comment on resolution 81? I'll close the public portion. I'll make that motion.
Muted.
So, it cut out there.
Sorry, can we do that again?
Yeah, I'll make the motion for approval of resolution 81. I'll second it.
Mr. Party?
Yes.
Mr. Feely?
Yes.
Mr. Dixon?
Yes.
Mr. Keener?
Abstain.
And now return the meeting to Council President Keener.
Skip, did you have any comments you wanted to make in reference to the transfer?
Thank you, sir, and good morning. I hope everyone's well. The action today, as everyone knows, was simply to approve the person-to-person transfer. The license remains in pocket status. At this point, Riz Romano will forward a packet, including your resolution, to ABC. A new license certificate and number will be issued by ABC, sent back to Ms. Romano, and she will actually continue to hold the license certificate in her possession unless there is an opportunity or an application to cite the license at some other location or some location in the city. With that, I want to thank the city and the council and the mayor for having afforded me the opportunity to speak. And with that, I wish you all a great day, and I will sign off.
Thanks, sir. Thank you for your. Okay, at this time, we'll ask for a motion to introduce ordinance number 1668 on first reading.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Marty?
Yes.
Mr. Feely?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Keener?
Yes.
Ordinance 1668, an ordinance to amend the revised general ordinances of the City of Seattle City, Chapter 7, entitled Traffic, regulating the speed limit and regulate speed humps on portions of the 300 block of 42nd Place.
George, do you want to give an update on that, or?
Paul's going to give an
Okay.
ordinance. Council President, thank you for the opportunity. This is an ordinance that will provide for speed bumps to be located at 42nd and Place, Place. The reason is that the new I'm going to use yours.
Yeah, use mine.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting a feedback. Okay, now I'm back. The reason is that the new pickleball courts and the higher traffic volume we've seen as people come and go from the fishing pier and the launching dock has created something of a speedway along that road. So there'll be one speed bump placed closer to Park Road and one speed bump placed closer toward the bay. There will also be a reduction in the speed limit from 25 miles an hour to 15 miles an hour. For most part, during the season, most people are only able to do 15 miles an hour on that road anyway. So practically, this should not make much of a difference to the everyday using public. And that's what it's about.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to adopt ordinance number 1668 on first reading and published according to law.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Vardy?
Yes. Well, I'm going to do 1665 next.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Keener?
Yes. Second reading and public hearing for ordinance number 1668 will be at the May 25th, 2021 meeting at 10 a.m. At this time, I'll ask for a motion to take up ordinance number 1665 for second reading and public hearing.
So moved. I'll second it.
Mr. Vardy?
Yes.
Mr. Feely?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Keener?
Yes.
Ordinance 1665, an ordinance to amend the revised general ordinances of the City of Seattle City, Chapter 7, Section 15, entitled Loading Zones.
Paul, do you want to give an explanation on that?
Thank you, Council President. Yes, this is an ordinance that creates a loading zone in front of what used to be the Springfield or just off to the side of it on Pleasure Avenue. The reason that this is being moved forward by the administration is to try to streamline deliveries in and out of the facility. So the old way, the deliveries used to simply block Pleasure Avenue or block the side street. The idea now is that we create an area where they can pull in and get off the street a little bit and let traffic flow by as they're loading and unloading. That would be a benefit. The location of the site was specifically chosen because it minimizes the loss of parking. I think at most we lose one parking space because it takes advantage of other reasons why there was no parking, such as a driveway access and a street corner. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We're now going to unmute to the public for public comment. The public comment is only in regards to ordinance number 1665.
Unmuted.
There have been no pre-submitted emails or correspondence. Anyone with any comment on ordinance number 1665? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to adopt ordinance number 1665.
I'll second.
Mr. Vardy?
Yes.
Mr. Feely?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Yes.
Muted.
This time, I'll ask for a motion to take up ordinance number 1666 for second reading and public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Vardy?
Yes.
Mr. Feely?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Keener?
Yes.
Ordinance 1666, an ordinance to create Chapter 20-6 entitled Kayaks of the revised general ordinances of the City of Seattle City to establish a lottery system for kayak storage racks.
At this time, we're going to unmute to the public for public comment on ordinance number 1666.
Unmuted.
There have been no pre-submitted emails or correspondence to this ordinance. Anyone with any public comment on ordinance number 16? Hearing none, I'll move for adoption of ordinance number 1666 on second reading.
Second.
Mr. Vardy?
Yes.
Mr. Feely?
Yes.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Yes. We're now going to unmute to the public for public comment on the consent agenda. There have been no pre-submitted emails or correspondence in regards to the consent agenda. Anyone have comments on resolution consent agenda?
Yes, Ann Oregon, 209 39th Street. Number 87. We're getting rid of surplus weapons to trade in. I'm afraid about weapons being traded in or given away or whatever. Can't we just dispose of them?
They're being traded to a reputable vendor.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel any better.
But it's the trade-in, which has given us a lesser price on the purchase of new ones. So that was the reason for doing it.
Okay.
Anyone else have any comments on the consent agenda or resolution?
Good morning.
Yes. Give your name and address.
My name is Edward Grimes. I'm with sativacross.org. We're a 501c3 here in New Jersey, advocating for disabled rights and cannabis patients' rights. I'd like to talk about your...
Sir,
yes.
This is not the time yet for that. This is only on the consent agenda, and I don't see you listed on the consent agenda for any topic, so you have to wait till the end for citizen comment on any topic.
Thank you.
Anyone else with any comment on the resolution consent agenda? Hearing no further comments, I'll ask for a motion to
Muted.
the resolutions on the consent agenda number 82 to number 93.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mr. Alardi?
Yeah.
Mr. Feely?
Yeah, it's only phone.
Mr. Gibson?
Yes.
Mr. Keenan?
Yes. Pending business? Hearing none. New business? Hearing none. We're now going to unmute to the public for public comment on any topic. There have been no
Unmuted.
emails or correspondence in reference to public comment on any topic. Sir, now is the time for you to...
Thank
your
you.
name.
My name is Edward Lefty Grimes. I'm with sativacross.org, a 501c3 here in New Jersey, advocating for disabled rights and cannabis patients' rights. I'm hearing a lot of feedback or noise.
Can you hold for 1 minute?
I'm sorry.
Muted.
Everybody else, so we can hear you.
Okay.
Mr. Grimes, can you repeat your address again?
Yeah, I'm with sativacross.org, a 501c3. I'm up in East Hanover,
Mr. Grimes?
84. Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Unmuted.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with I'm Edward Lefty Grimes. I'm with sativacross.org, 501c3 here in New Jersey. I'm in 84 Hanover Road up in East Hanover. I want to talk about your ordinance for banning medical cannabis. You talk about in your ordinance, you're not banning it in pharmacies, but medical cannabis is not dispensed in pharmacies. The only thing dispensed in pharmacies is synthetic man-made cannabis called Marinol. God's medicine has been stigmatized and kept out of the pharmacies and has been kept out of towns all over New Jersey. You have to imagine what it's like to be in a wheelchair. People in wheelchairs are suffering, and we need your help. And right now, the last are being put last. And that's not what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to put the last first. And people suffering in wheelchairs should not have obstacles put in front of them to get their medicine. If you want to ban recreational cannabis, that's your call. But to ban somebody's medicine is just hurtful and very anti-Christian when you take someone's medicine away. When you're in a wheelchair, it's very hard to go out and get your medicine. Now, you're going to say, oh, yeah, we deliver it now. Well, they deliver a lot of things, but people in wheelchairs want to browse. They want to be able to take part in life. And delivery adds another charge to the cost of our medicine, which is taxed by the state. It's taxed by the towns that take it. It's overpriced. It's not covered by insurance. You know, we're not trying to tax insulin. We're not trying to tax people's heart medicine. Why are we taxing people's cannabis? 68% of Jesus' miracles were for the disabled, and I think we've lost the plot here in New Jersey when it comes to compassion. They're implementing a wheelchair tax in these towns that accept it. I call it a wheelchair tax, a cancer tax, a multiple sclerosis tax. That's what it is. You're taxing sick people. And I ask for representation for that taxation. In these towns where they're giving us cannabis, there's no wheelchair access. So if you're going to tax us, give us at least some wheelchair access. All over the state, we have no wheelchair access. That's what we need. We need your help. The medicine we're getting is moldy from these big corporations. We want mom and pop to grow cannabis. We don't want these corporations, billion-dollar corporations, coming in and taking over. We want to raise up the people that are here already, the working class, the people that are hurting, the people that are suffering in the last few years with all this COVID and all this other stuff. People are closing their businesses left and right, but the billionaires are making their money. So I ask that you open up to medical and allow patients to get their medicine at least. And think about people in wheelchairs and think about what it's like to spend a day in a wheelchair. Maybe, and I've asked this to many councils, to spend the day in a wheelchair. No one's taken me up on it yet, but I will do it with you if you do it. And I'll end with this. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Thank you.
We will take it under consideration. Anyone else for citizen comment on any topic?
Yes,
Hi, I would like to speak.
Okay, young lady.
Before gentlemen.
Yes, Richard Parks here, 116 90th Street. I thought it was ladies first. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
I'm sorry, is that me? Okay, my name is Marina Redmond. I live in Sayreville, New Jersey, and I'd like to discuss the medical marijuana ban. It's helped me so much. I use it for PTSD and, unfortunately, cancer. It's helped me out so much with my PTSD. When I was little, I was in the hospital between the ages of 1 and 4.5. I had many surgeries on my leg. Back then, the parents weren't allowed to stay over. You were told to be a big girl. Imagine being told to be a big girl or a big boy between the ages of 1 and 4.5. You're okay, you're fine, and your parents couldn't stay over. I was in a big, huge New York City hospital. But this is what they did back then. When they wheeled me into when they would wheel me into the surgical room for my surgeries, your parents weren't allowed to bring you in there. Once again, you were told, you'll be fine, you're fine. Everyone was dressed up in these scary outfits because they're surgical stuff. But when you're that young, you don't know what's going on. And then, unfortunately, in 2017, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I lost 50 pounds in 3 weeks because of the medicines they gave me. Nothing worked. It took me 4 weeks for me to get my medical cannabis card, medical marijuana card. After that, it was a game changer. I started to eat. I started to feel better. I started to live. It was wonderful. I can't tell you how much this has done for me. And in your county, you have 13 places where doctors prescribe medical cannabis. In the state of New Jersey, you have 60 psychiatric doctors who prescribe medical cannabis. You also have 9 pediatric doctors, children doctors who prescribe medical cannabis. You have 400 CVSs and almost 400 CVSs in New Jersey. Walgreens, almost 280. We need our medicine. I mean, it's not easy to get around when you're sick, and if people saying, "Oh, it's a couple towns away," the couple towns away will be torture for somebody who has a medical condition. And if you'd like to ask me any questions, please feel free.
No, thank you for your comments.
Thank you so much for listening.
We'll take it under consideration.
Please do.
Okay, Mr. Parks?
Yes, Richard Parks, 116 90th Street. This is a follow-up to the comments I made at last meeting regarding the dumpsters and the cleanup of the site where construction sites are going. And I just wanted to follow up here. There has been some construction going on at 89th and Landis Avenue. And the construction there has been going on for several weeks. However, there's been no dumpster there, and there has been no porta potty there. The construction is going on. They finally delivered both of which this morning, but in the meantime, again, they're working without a dumpster on site, and of course the porta potty. I think both of which should be on the site when they start the construction and before they start the construction. The other portion, of course, is covering of the dumpsters, which is some people are doing it and some people aren't. But I can look out my window right now and see a dumpster that has been uncovered for weeks, and it doesn't get covered at night. So I just wondered what the follow-up was, if anything is being done by the city, or is there any enforcement of this law that is on the books in Seattle City.
I believe that the construction official has sent out a letter to all the contractors at the reminding them of the ordinance, and I know he's been going around checking the sites, but as I say, they have the right till end of day before they have to close it. So if they're not doing that, we'll notify him, and he'll remind the contractors again.
And that's great. It's just that, again, like I said, at 89th and Landis, they've been working there for weeks and had no dumpster at all. So yeah. I just want to make sure that should be in place before they even start. And that's it.
We'll pass that on to the construction official. Thank you, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, Tom?
Yes, good morning, everybody. Tom McGuire, 134 40th Street. A couple meetings ago, I had mentioned about the warranty on the shrubbery and trees that expire in about a week or two, and I haven't seen any updates of plants being taken out or bushes, and I have a little concern here. The season's ready to begin, and we got all these dead plants and trees here. I mean, the installer should have at least come out and started replacing these by now. If you look right out the building there at City Hall, you go around there, you look at all the dead bushes and shrubbery there. Does anybody have an update on the situation, or?
George, do you have an update on that?
Yes, Council President. We're following up with the contractor and with the landscape architect who had prepared the plans and specifications when we put these trees in. So we don't have a date yet for replacement. So we're following up on that.
All right, there are quite a few. There's over by where the voting is, and also I'm sure that somebody from the city will go around with the architect or the people from that installed them, and mark down where everything needs to be replaced. Right?
Yeah. Man, I got a pot hangover. I ate a Fico taco last night. It was ridiculous. It was a gummy with THC distillate and a gram of Fico. Oh, I woke up with a hangover. But then I smoked a bowl from Cannabis. I got my Jaeger. Chris, I got my Jaeger. I got my Earth Monkey. I got my duct tape and lemon kush. And I smoked it when I woke up from a hangover. And I think it helped. And I think my back feels better too. So, all right, back to this meeting. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm really hungover.
40th Street, I noticed that they put all the piping in for the pump all hooked up now, and everything's ready to go on that pump for 40th Street here.
The pump has been placed, but the pipes, I don't know, have been connected fully yet. I know.
Yeah, I noticed on the 200 block that they've been put in and covered. I'm sure they'll put blacktops on it, but I drove down there and looked all the way back to where the bay is, and it looks like everything's hooked up except the pump, unless they have it on the other side. I don't know. But I'm glad to see that this is finally getting done. It's been a long time coming, but everybody here on 40th Street really looking forward to it this year when we get heavy rains that we won't have to pull stuff in from the ground.
The city as well is looking into that same feature, hopefully.
Okay, I guess one of the other things I wanted to talk about was when the mayor mentioned about the fireworks. I think it would be, it's me speaking, but I don't know anybody think that we should bring it back to 40th Street for in town. All these businesses that do business here, I'm sure over the last few years that they've lost business. When you see at JFK here, people can go up and get ice cream. They can go get a grilled cheese while the fireworks are on. And that stuff isn't available at the other end when they do that. Is there any way that they can alternately do this or move it back permanently?
George, you have any comment on that?
Council President, I was planning to keep it where it's been last year and not last year, the year before and previously. It seems to be the fairest location for the entire town, and that's the plan.
Well, we can't alternate it 1 year, 1 year. That way we make everybody happy.
Well, we were having twice a year, Tom. Once at New Year's and once in July, so we were alternating them that way, and hopefully we can get back this way.
Yeah, I would like to see that because, that way nobody can complain and say, why did they move them here? Why did they move them? If you do the two sites every other year, there's no complaint. I think it's the perfect idea.
Okay, thank you for your comments.
All right, I have one more, Bill. I just wanted to give a shout out to the city employees. They did a great job this winter. The guys put the trash cans almost back in place. You don't have to go looking for your lids or anything anymore. And they've been doing this, and I just wanted to thank them personally. And, it's a hard job as it is, and they go out of their way to kind of do that. And I just think it was a nice thing that the city has done. And I just wanted to give a shout out to the man and woman that spoke previous to me about the wheelchairs and stuff. And I really think what they brought up was a very good question. And I hope that you guys can come up with a great solution for that. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. And you are right that these city employees do an excellent job.
Yes.
Anyone else?
What
on
about the
citizen
wheelchairs?
comments?
Because we read about the wheelchairs
Can I
too.
address the council, please?
You were finished, Tom?
Yes, I'm sorry, Phil.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay. Next gentleman, give your name and address for the record.
Good morning, council and city admin. My name is Wes Kasmark. I own two properties on Pleasure Avenue, 3914, units 101 and units 102. I own and operate the Birdcage Boutique in town and have so for the past 7 years. I am reaching out to you guys. I reached out to you guys via email a couple weeks back. I have every year purchased 3 to 4 parking permits from you guys for my wife, for myself, and for like my 2 managers who travel a decent distance to get to work every day. And as I'm sure everyone's aware, parking in town is always a struggle. At least with the permits, they find a spot, they know they can park and not worry about paying the meter and that kind of thing. I also am very well aware that the permits go quick. However, I've never seen them go in one day like they did this year, maybe a day and a half or something like that. But I know that I went to go buy them day 4, and they were sold out, and I missed it by a whole day. I wouldn't be addressing the council right now if I tried to go get the permits today or next week or something like that, because, you know, it's kind of like you snooze, you lose. But to expect them to be sold out that quick, well, it was unexpected, especially with the new rules in place and me having to make sure that I had proper vehicles, like exact. It wasn't like it was last year when you could buy 4 and just, you know, trade them with employees. I had to make sure I knew who was getting them and who wasn't, that kind of thing. What I'm asking for is any possible leniency, possibly for business owners, to maybe extend a little bit. It's a hardship, especially this year with health being a problem for everybody. It's hard for me to, and you can't see, I have employees who work long hours. It's going to be hard for them to, like, if they have to park like 3 blocks away, 4 blocks away, they're going to have to, like, you know, pay the close the store to pay the meter now and stuff like that. Not to mention, it's a serious, you know, it's a burden on the business owner, not having, you know, I come into town every day and I know that I can just park my car and jump in. So, I wouldn't be asking for this if it was a month after the fact. I thought I moved quick. They've never sold out that fast. I know that because I've never gotten them the first couple of days. They've always gotten them like within a week or so. And I also understand that you've got there have been citizen I don't know if complaints is what you want to call it, but I know there's people also asking, you know, because I guess the same thing happens to them, and I don't want to like downsize the importance of them, but for a business owner, you know, it's much more just something that would be nice. It's kind of like it's really important to have them. You know, and I'm aware of the weekly option. That's not great. You know, it's just one of those things that you'd have to like do every single week, and it's difficult. So, what I'm asking council and city admin is to possibly consider maybe an exemption for business owners, or maybe like allowing business owners to have, you know, I don't want to say first crack, but at least like the ability to get them and have more than 24 hours to do it. You know, that's really all I got. I think you guys run things great in town. I'm familiar with city politics and all that. You know, I'm hopeful that you guys can possibly make an exception here, being that they sold out so quickly.
Yeah, can you make an exception for your
That's
sick
really
and
all I have
dying?
to say about that.
Maybe the sick and dying of
Okay, your
your town.
emails were forwarded to the administration. I understand their senior viewing it, and hopefully there'll be a recommendation come back to us, and then we can correspond back. But at present, there has been no decision made.
I appreciate that. I appreciate any time you guys would take considering this. I know you guys got a lot on your plate and everything like that. So I take my battles. I try not to bother you guys ever. So unless it's something that I find to be extremely important
an imperative. So I very much appreciate
me
your
too.
consideration in this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you for notifying us. Thank you. Anyone else with any citizen comments on any topic?
I would like to speak, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Young lady,
Amy.
need your first and last name and an address.
Amy Van Skyver, Paulsboro, New Jersey, Greenwich Avenue.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning. I am with Sativa Cross, a nonprofit advocating for cannabis patients' rights and accessibility for individuals with disabilities. I personally am a cannabis patient, and that's really all I'm here to talk to you about today is medical cannabis. I would, however, like to point out that 61.25% of your constituents voted for recreational cannabis. And I think they voted for it not wanting to travel 2 hours away. But I'm not here to tell you about your constituents or the law or what they voted for or how you're not with them. Like I said, I'm here to talk about medical. Many people are using this. People with cancer, people with seizure disorders, people with PTSD, soldiers that are killing themselves at a rate of 25 per day are using medical cannabis. I'm not sure if you're familiar with antidepressants, specifically SSRIs, but they tend to make people have more of a desire to commit suicide. We're really failing people, and people are dying on Narcan because they're overdosing on things from your pharmacies, like fentanyl and OxyContin and Percocet. You're not distributing any Narcan. You're not administering any Narcan for cannabis. Not a single cannabis patient, not a single person has ever died of cannabis. It's impossible. If you were to go to the emergency room for cannabis, you're not going to get your stomach pumped. Nothing fun is going to happen. You're going to be held for observation. We have an endocannabinoid system in our body. It was placed there by God. And there's a plant, cannabis, on this earth that was also placed there by God. You have people that have chronic illness and chronic pain, and I'm not sure if people really grasp what chronic means. It's not going away. I personally cannot guess that my immune illness, systemic lupus, is going to get better. It's chronic. It's not going away. You guys might deal with like an issue and take an anti-inflammatory maybe a few days, maybe a joint injury, a couple of weeks. Our problems are not going away. When you go down the path of pharmaceuticals, I think we all understand that people develop tolerances to these things. Their body says this isn't working anymore, and then they in turn need to consume more of this. Something that doesn't belong in their body, a chemical that's not fixing or healing anything, a chemical that is blocking your body from knowing what's happening. It's like literally standing on a razor and saying your foot hurts. And instead of moving the razor, instead of doing something to heal yourself, you're just giving yourself some chemicals so that you don't feel that razor cutting into your foot. This is not the path that we can go for people's wellness and healing. People are chronic pain. They are not getting better. And to send them down that road of pharmaceuticals, ask yourself every time Narcan's administered in your community, is that blood, any of it, on your hands? Should that person have access to something else besides narcotics that are killing people? I've spent many years in your community, and I know I'm not from here, but I'm here to talk for the people that are too sick, that are in too much pain, that can't show up for themselves today. I've been there. You need access in your community. You can't expect these people to take Ubers. You can't expect them to pay delivery fees. Maybe they're in a wheelchair. Maybe they're disabled. That doesn't mean that they're sentenced to house arrest, bedbound. They want to go handle their own errands. They want to look at the selections and see what would they like to choose. They're not incompetent. Maybe they have a disability physically. They're not out of their mind that somebody should be doing all of their errands and making all of their choices from them. I'm having a really hard time understanding. Like I said, I grew up in your community, camping, going to the beach, and eventually when you get old enough, you have to go to La Costa and the Springfield, and just the community that so embraced recreational partying and intoxicants for something that has never killed a single person. I don't care what you do recreational. I really don't. Enjoy La Costa, enjoy the Springfield, whatever you enjoy recreational, I guess is for whatever. But medically, you need to give your constituents, your community access to this medication. And it needs to be accessible, not 2 hours away, not, if they can afford a $80 Uber ride. People are on disability. They're living off of $700 a month. If they wanted these narcotics, they'll be delivered to their door for free. This is not the path that you should be choosing for your community. They need access to their medication, their life-saving medication, not recreation, medication. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else for citizen comments on any topic?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Give your name and address for the record.
Yes. My name is Hugh Giordano, 57 Argyle, Blackwood, New Jersey. Mayor and Council, I'm here today as a representative of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, UFCW, Local 152. We represent members here in Seattle City as well. We have active members. Wanted to speak in regards to the cannabis ordinance that was introduced April 13th, and would like to, on behalf of our labor union and our 1.3 million hardworking families, we are the official cannabis labor union, which represents both medical and adult use workers from sea to sail. We are and that's under the guise of the AFL-CIO. We are also working directly with the South Jersey Building Trades and the Central Labor Council for the build-out and retrofit of these facilities. So not only will they be unionized with UFCW when they open, whether it's a cultivation site or a retail facility or a manufacturing site, but they'll be built union using IBEW, electrical workers, carpenters union, sprinkler fitters, steam fitters union. These will create good union jobs from shovel to sale. We have some of the best labor laws in the state when it comes to cannabis workers. And what I mean by that is our labor laws the state has looked directly at workers' rights with New Jersey to make sure that we have a strong economy. And that's why they put these standards inside the law. We have better labor laws than any other cannabis state that has legalized. And it's time for South Jersey to take advantage of this. I wanted to let you know that the city of Bayonne passed an ordinance around 3 weeks ago. It's a conservative ordinance for the size of the city. They're only limiting it to a couple facilities. But I would suggest that Seattle City look at the city of Bayonne's ordinance. It sets out a pathway of not only how you get economic benefits, but how you can set up the opportunity to pick which employer you want in the Seattle City. I also really know that the UFCW is working directly with Stockton University. And the reason is because these jobs are well-educated jobs. These folks have degrees in horticulture, botany, chemistry, 4 years plus. In fact, some of these, the medical facilities have pharmacists that work directly at the facilities as well. So this is a very science-based industry. What I would suggest is, if you are not for adult use, I do believe medical is a good middle ground. It's a way to make sure that not only patients get their medicine, but it can create good jobs in Seattle City. And I know that you had a steep decrease in population in the 2010 census. So this is a way to make some of that revenue up so it doesn't impact seniors who are living here full time. And you're able to put that money back into redevelopment of the community and not on the backs of senior citizens. It will attract young families to move in, which will increase the revenue base for taxation, and they'll be educated. It will give to the environment of Seattle City, which always says the city of all seasons. Cannabis can help create that for medical patients, especially, just so you know, the data shows that in New Jersey, majority of patients are 50 years or older. So that's why I think the medical cannabis space would be perfect. Again, my name is Hugh Giordano. I'm from UFCW, Local 152. If you want a tour of the dispensary, we actually take you to a tour of a dispensary at the Garden State Dispensary, which was the first unionized dispensary in New Jersey of the original 6 since the Chris Christie administration. So it's a long time, and you can see it for yourself. We'd love to take you on a tour. Thank you so much for your time. Take care.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Anyone else for citizen comments on any topic?
Yes, can I speak now, please?
Yes, sir. Give your name and address for the record.
Sure thing. My name is Jeffrey King. I'm at 24 Elizabeth Parkway in Eatontown. It's a tough time to make a meeting for a working person. I guess none of the council works. Normal job anyway. Tough. And then trying to get my chance to speak. I'm working, and I would have liked to just raise my hand and know when my time to speak was coming up. Tough just guessing when the opportunity will come. But that being said, I joined you, like my friends, to ask for compassion for medical cannabis patients. These bans are really tough on patients. It's a real challenge to get the medicine that we need. The availability is no good, even at dispensaries. They don't have what we need. The price is very high, not affordable. So if you could think of us, think of how you can help us. We're really desperate. We would like the legislature and the governor to recognize that the people did vote affirmatively by a large majority, and that does include home growing rights. The governor really failed to come through with home growing rights. I don't know if he's listening to the pharmaceutical lobby or what his motivation is, but if you speak to that, that would be courageous of you. And we would appreciate the small government, conservative, individual liberty and personal responsibility of home growing.
Yes.
That goes across party lines.
Yes.
If you're going to ban it in your town, it would be very compassionate to think of how patients will get their access to the medicine they need. Right now, the black market is in your town. And if you continue with the ban, drug dealers that don't check ID and that have other things like cocaine and PCP and scary things are going to still be in your town, still doing what they've been doing. So I appreciate you taking our comments under consideration and just keep an open mind. And as we go forward and we find out more about how this is helpful and beneficial and it's not harmful, I would hope that you will adjust your policy and at least definitely carve out what you can for the medical patients. We're begging for help. It's really desperate. So just don't forget us. Don't forsake us. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else for citizen comments on any topic?
Yes, Ian Oregon, 209 39th Street. I can't find the original ordinance. So can you give me the number of it? Because all I was worried about was how are they going to prove that you're using cannabis in a public place or any marijuana or anything in a public place. How are you going to prove that? Maybe I read the ordinance wrong.
The clerk has advised me if you'll call her office, she'll send you a copy of the ordinance.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ann.
All right. Thank you.
Any other comments on any topic? Hearing no further comments or any
muted.
I'll ask for a motion to adjourn and go into a closed session.
So moved.
I'll second it. Thank you for coming out, and I hope to hear you on May 11th.
Well, that was a good meeting. So yeah, that was Sea Isle. And let's see if they think about this a little more now. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you trying to feed Lulu? Oh my god! I can't do this while you're trying to feed the cat. Oh my god! So again, last night I took a Fico taco. Thank you, Adam. I had horrible back pain, like 9.5 back pain, brutal, super. I have back pain all the time, like seven, maybe 7, 8 at the worst. 9s, I lose my mind. I can't think. And I really appreciate Adam coming over, helping me out. I didn't realize something else came yesterday. My cannabis stuff here. So when I woke up with this huge Fico taco hangover, I had a hangover. Really, it was like right here. I smoked some duct tape and some Jaeger, and that kind of took my headache away. Hair of the dog. Oh, so yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go back and lay down, maybe get some food, relax. I feel better. The Fico taco actually helped my back. I feel a lot better than I woke up yesterday. Well, I woke up yesterday a mess. I woke up today a lot better than yesterday. So thanks for everybody taking part. Jamie, that was awesome. Marina, Hugh, Jeff, you guys are the best. I hope we got through to them. So God bless you all. And this is the end of our podcast. I'm not doing the list. This is a Sea Isle podcast. And I already did the ode. So we are out of here. We'll see you on Thursday. All right. Peace out, everybody.